So just what does a day trader do all day? Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you a day in the life of a day trader. So you know, like when I get started, what my activities are throughout the day, like that. And stick around because at the end of the video, I'm going to share with you the most important activity a day trader needs to do in order to remain successful. Well, hey everybody, it is Jay Crater with the RideShare Guy. Cheers. It's about 10:30 on Monday morning, all right? And that's my third cup of Nespresso for the day. I learned that I have my first cup in the morning, I have a second cup about an hour later, and then I have to go to tea, or my hands start to get like that. But now that we're later in the day and we're gonna do this, let's have another Nespresso. Okay, so background. So I'm Jay Crater, and for 4 years I drove as a rideshare driver. I did a ridiculous amount of rides, 26,000, almost 26,000, exactly, 26,799 rides. And I loved it. But as I've gotten older, I can't quite do it physically anymore. And I wanted to do something that I could continue to do for as long as I live. So that's how I turned into day trading, and I made a video about exactly why I like day trading. This video is going to be all about a day in the life of the day trader. So let's jump right in. 2:30 in the morning. That's when I wake up. 2:30 in the morning. I go to bed at about 7 and I wake up at 2:30. The reason I wake up at 2:30 is that's the time I need to get up to do the things I need to do to be ready to go by 4 o'clock. Okay, because 4 o'clock's when a lot of us start with what's called the pre-market, where you can make trades. It's before the exact opening of the market, but you can still trade. Okay, you can actually trade about 20 hours a day, not just not just the normal hours from 9:30 until 4 Eastern Standard Time. So 2:30, I wake up and I have a cup of coffee. That's when I have my first cup of coffee, and I just kind of look at my phone. You know, I just sort of wake up, and that takes about a half an hour. 3 o'clock. All right, so I'm awake, and now it's time to start getting myself ready. So I always have to start my day with a shower, and the reason I like to start with a shower is because it wakes me up. You know, it's just like I gotta be like, you know, so I love the hot water and all of that. So I take a shower, I get dressed, and I'm ready to go. 3:30. All right, this is the probably second most important thing I do is I meditate for 20 minutes. So I use an app called Waking Up by Sam Harris, and I light a candle and I sit cross-legged on my 20-year-old cushion that I've had, and what you're seeing right now is a picture I took this morning actually. So I darken the room and it's just the candlelight, and then I just go with whatever the guided meditation is. And I find that it just gets me clear and focused and in the present moment, out of my head. 3:50. All right, at 3:50, that's when I am ready to go, and I'm going to turn on all of these computers and screens. All right, I'm going to turn on eSignal, so I've got all my charts. I'm going to turn on Lightspeed, so I've got my ability to place orders. I'm going to turn on all my scanners, right? So I can start evaluating stocks. I'm going to turn on, I have an Excel spreadsheet I've made where I put in the top 5 stocks, and I have a numbering system so I can see which one ranks the highest, which means it should be the best for me. So I fire everything up. So by 5:15, right, this is when my coach shows up. So on one of my screens, I have a live transmission from my coach. So he's actually talking to all of us, telling us what he's thinking about, what stocks he's looking at, why certain stocks look good, why certain stocks don't look so good. There's also a community, right? So it's like a chat room. And this is something I just recently discovered about 4 months ago. And this has made a huge impact because I'm part of a community, and that's tremendous. And I learn as much from different members of the community as I do from the coach. So I've got all this activity going on, which keeps me entertained, and I keep learning, right? Because some of these guys have been trading for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, and there's so much to learn. I'm still relatively new at this, at 2 years. So all of that starts to happen at about 5:15. 6:30, boom, the market opens. So this is where there's a flood of activity, and you see more volatility, and oftentimes this is where you're going to find your biggest moves in that first half an hour when the market opens. So what I've been doing between when I started and now is just looking at stocks. I have probably bought and sold a few or made a few trades. There's not as much volatility leading up to when the market opens, so it's a little bit slower, and I like that. I like that time very much. Some people don't start trading until the market opens at 6:30, and some people prefer to trade from 7 o'clock, right, which would be 10 o'clock in New York, for a few hours after the market's open and things have calmed down a bit. I also like that time of day as well. So 6:30 is when the market opens and it's like game on. 8:30. All right, so this is where I'm starting to feel a little bit tired now. The market's been open for a couple of hours. I've gone through the very active half hour after the market opens, and then another hour and a half just to kind of see, there's some big moves that happen an hour, into the market being open. Sometimes there's some news that happens. So I like to be around for all of that. So 8:30, I'm pretty much done. And this is the time where I'm going to look back over my trades, and I put them into a spreadsheet. And then I kind of go and I look at which ones made sense, which ones were not smart, which ones were like what's called revenge trading. So this helps me to get better to look at these trades, trade by trade. At 9 o'clock, good for me. Now the day's pretty much over. I'm going to go work out. So I go to the health club, and I've got a routine I do every single day of the week. I find that working out really is important to me, especially at the age of 60. I'm not 72, 62. And yeah, so the older you get, the more important the exercise is. And I do it religiously along with the meditating every single day. The afternoon. So at the beginning of the video, I said I was going to share with you the most important thing a day trader can do. And that's what I do sometime in the afternoon, and that's study. So I look at videos, I read books. I like to spend about an hour just kind of getting my head into the stock market activities. And this is where I can develop as a trader and learn more. And, I had a sales manager back in 1990 named Mike, and he said, if you're green, you're growing, and if you're ripe, you're rotten. So I've always wanted to be green, right? There's a beginner's mind, right? Always looking to learn more so that I could improve and continue to improve. So that's another thing about the stock market. You can never learn it all. It's just there's always more to learn. And every day is a different situation with different stocks. So what are the key takeaways from my day? Well, I love this life. I guess that's the key takeaway. I love that in order to be good at being a day trader, I have to be physically fit. I have to be mentally, on top of my game. And you have to be emotionally mature, because you're going to lose some money, right? You're going to have days where you're going to lose money. And you have to kind of have a broader perspective that that's part of the game. And then there are going to be more days where you make money, right? So it really demands all that I've got. And I just love that. I love the discipline of it, that I've got my routine, that I got to, stick to it. So I guess that's the key takeaway is it feeds me in a lot of ways. All right. So the next video, I'm going to share with you about my strategy. Okay. So we'll look at some charts, and I'll kind of explain what it is that I'm looking for when I decide to make a purchase and when I decide to sell. Okay. And I think if you're interested in day trading, you'll find that very fascinating. All right. So this is Jay Crater. I want to say thanks very much for your time and for watching this video. I hope you're enjoying this information about day trading. I loved being a driver, rideshare driver. And I'm finding this I love even more. So I'm really happy to share it with you. If you haven't subscribed yet to our YouTube channel here at the RideShare Guy, subscribe. We're always going to bring you great content. Hit that notification button or whatever it is so that when new videos come in, you'll be notified. You'll go out and have a great day. Take care of yourself. All right, be kind. Thanks very much. See you next time.